Hey, this is the Desserts.Dallas, and nope.
Just keep going. Yeah, we'll just edit that.
Hey y'all, this is the Desserts.Drinks.Dallas podcast. I'm your host, Ray McDermott, and this is our very first episode, and I'm super pumped and very honored to have my excellent good friend and pastry chef extraordinaire, Andrea Meyer, owner of Bisous Bisous.
Hi, everybody.
Patissier. So welcome. Yay.
Thank you. Yay, thank you for having me.
We are here in Andrea's home. She is so graciously let us come here to talk. So welcome. So for those that don't know you, shame, but if they don't, tell us about you.
Sure. Well, I, as you said, I'm the chef and owner of Bisous Bisous Patisserie. We're a pastry shop in West Village in Uptown in Dallas. We've been there just over 6 years. So we specialize in all kinds of different French pastries, from the French macaroons, which is our signature item, to tarts and eclairs and croissants made from scratch. We do a lot of additional pastries for coffee shops and restaurants and things around Dallas as well.
And you have been a pastry chef for a long time.
10 years.
10 years. So, like, she's well versed in what we are going to discuss today.
Yeah, I eat a lot of sugar.
Yes,
That's for sure.
That's just like I mainline sugar. I think that sugar is, like, for me, the basis of who I am.
It's the basis of my diet.
Yeah,
for
sure. No doubt. Okay, well, also, I've asked each week I've asked my guests to choose a drink that we can enjoy while we're talking. So what have you chosen for us today?
I have chosen, in celebration, I wanted to do champagne, but I really love Mon Napa. We used to belong to Mon Napa when we lived out in Napa, and we could get all of their, like, Shishi club member only champagnes. And so this is one of those. This is a Cuvée M Red, and I just like, it's not, it's different. It's not something you would really find anywhere else, and so we've gotten it just, like, shipped from the winery. So cheers.
All right, cheers to us.
Oh my God,
cheers to you
I
guys.
have to drink it.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm not usually a champagne girl, but I could help finish this bottle.
Right.
No problem. It's awesome. And I love the color. I did not know that champagne came in other colors. I think I've had blue, but it was like Prosecco. I didn't know, like, it comes in other colors.
Yeah, just similar to how you'd have white wine and red wine. The process is the same. It just, this is bubbly. And they have a really nice sparkling Pinot as well. But I'll save that one for food. This one is good for just drinking and maybe eating some sweets.
Yeah, let's definitely discuss some sweets. So, okay. So we've got the drinks out of the way. So when I think about desserts, there's some definite memories that come to mind. When I think about, we were just saying, like, sugar is who we are, right? Mm-hmm. I have some definite memories that just give me the warm fuzzies about desserts and things like that. So tell me about your earliest memory of a dessert.
I think that, especially when you're talking about memories, you're talking about things that tend to be relatively simple. So I think as pastry chefs, we tend to get a little more into the detail of all the intricacies of how things are sort of composed in a dessert. But when you're talking memories, it's really something simple. And the first thing I really can remember is doing Christmas cookies with my grandmother. I would have been probably, I guess, single digit age. I don't think I was probably even 10. But my grandmother would have me and my cousins over in their kitchen when we still lived in Cleveland, doing all of the Christmas cookies, and just, like, cut out decorated cookies, nothing elaborate or anything. But I definitely remember that, and really enjoying that time. I'm still very close with my grandmother, who lives here now too. So I think that's a really good memory too, just because, grandma's gonna let you put on all the sprinkles and all the sugar and make those cookies absolutely ridiculous and make a giant mess of the kitchen. Like, I never remember it being an issue that we're all, like, loud and kids and sugar and just, like, stuff everywhere. It was just a fun memory. So I think, yeah, cookies are still kind of a big basis of my diet. And my go-to if I'm just like, oh, what could we have for dessert or something, like, I typically always have cookie dough around. And so, like, even now I think we have some double chocolate cookies in there that I could throw in and bake if I needed to.
All right.
Yeah.
I love that. I wish if I did not have a mask on, I wish y'all could see the smile when she said Christmas cookies or cookies with grandma, because that's precious. Like, that's good stuff. I had two different grandmothers. One was a little bit more stern and strict than the other. The one that was sterner, it was my dad's mom, and we would bake or cook. She let us be in the kitchen. We just had to be neat about it. My other grandmother, she definitely did not cook or bake, but if it was a massive mess, she could have cared less. Like, that means she was doing something right as a grandmother. So I think that that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, and I was the eldest grandchild on that side, so I think a lot of, I think she had more energy for us, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like my grandmother on my father's side, I was probably grandchild, I don't even know, I've never stopped to count, 6 or 7 maybe. And so it just was a different dynamic.
Yeah.
But my maternal grandmother, we were there at her house at least once a week, just on a regular basis. So we were very close with my grandma and grandpa. And then, I definitely remember her with sweets and like pies at Thanksgiving and lemon squares at Easter, which she's already talking about for Easter this year. I'm trying to think of another one that really isn't so like focused on the particular person, but we would have a family reunion every year.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as I can remember, they were always happening. In fact, last year with the pandemic's the first time they've ever not had it.
Seriously?
Mm-hmm. Like, it's never been skipped.
A long-standing tradition.
Yeah.
Always Cleveland?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I have one great aunt that always makes banana pudding, and she makes like a vat of it. Like, I got the recipe when I got married, and I can't even imagine how much it makes. Probably like 2 gallons or something of banana pudding.
Loads of whipped cream in there?
No.
Okay.
But that's always like the thing that everybody looks forward to at the reunion. Some people might care about like savory things, hot dogs and the like or whatever. Yeah, I don't care. I just ate banana pudding like all day. So
Is the banana pudding one of those desserts that, this is no offense to your aunt, but everyone genuinely looks forward to, or it's like, oh, Aunt so-and-so's bringing the banana pudding and we like it, but do they think about the fact that they really like it?
Yeah, I think so. I think they look forward to it, and she only messes with it on that day. Like, we don't get it the rest of the year.
Oh.
So, like, it's reunion pudding.
That is awesome. Does she call it reunion pudding?
I think they do. I'm pretty sure it's like, because I wish I had it out. I have the recipe card she wrote out for me when I got married. When I got married, I asked for recipes, from people for showers and whatnot.
Yeah.
And that was the one I got from her. So I still have that, like, in her handwriting, writing out the recipe.
That is super cool.
Incidentally, I've never made it either. All
What's
these
happening
years,
here?
like, in my mind, it's reunion pudding. Like, I get it when I'm there. I've never tried to make it at home. It's like, I have it when I'm there.
On the next episode with Andrea and I, we will be having reunion pudding.
Reunion pudding.
Put it on your calendar now.
That's fair. It is fair. I really should make it.
I mean, come on.
Especially since I haven't been to a reunion in, we'll say, a hot minute.
Okay.
It's been a while since I've been home for that.
Well, we need to come up with a different kind of reunion for us here. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, moving on. So, that's a really good one. What if there's a dessert that you could not live without? You may not have it all the time, but like if someone said, "You'll never see this again. You'll take the bullet," kind of thing. What is that dessert? So, favorite dessert, or just like the one that you cannot live without? What is it?
I have it here. I have visual aids.
Okay, both of these boxes?
Both of these boxes, yeah.
Okay.
In general, the answer to your question, again, is simply
I feel like I should show.
donuts.
Oh. Oh my gosh, the smell.
I know, it's out of control.
Like, it just hit me.
Mm-hmm.
The
this
dough, the
is
sugar.
why I can't have a
the-
donut shop. We don't make donuts at Bisous. I could not be trusted. The fact that these 2 boxes are still complete, as you guys have gotten here, which I will say for the record, 1 donut is missing because I did eat it out of this box. But yeah, so I stopped this morning and got Detour Donuts, which is one of my very favorites. Jenny does really unique flavors.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
And
so
nails the classics. So
I
we've
don't
got
know if we can.
cookies and cream, creme brulee. The creme brulee donut might be my favorite one. I was thinking about that too, where it was like, if I had to pick just one, the creme brulee one I think is my favorite.
Okay.
Apple fritters, and I like hers because they actually have apple in them. Go figure. A lot of places don't.
Yeah. What's up with? I just experienced that last week.
I know. We were like, you pay money for it, and there's no apple in it.
What?
So,
Because they use apple pie spice?
I don't know. I just want to shake people. Just because it's like dough and cinnamon doesn't make it an apple fritter.
Right.
We could have a whole other episode on how I feel about apple fritters. So like she's got some really custom flavors too. And Jenny, if you ever see this, forgive me if I screw this up, but strawberry shortcake, mojito, honey lemon mascarpone, and I think this one is like caramel popcorn sesame or something.
I thought this one was at first like some kind of chivy looking thing, but then I saw the line and I was like, okay, I was scared.
She does an everything bagel donut. And I just want them to be sweet, so I didn't get
I'm not sure about that. But
I know it's popular.
I wish you guys could see these. Okay, hold on. And without trying to like look at that. Whoop, there it went. Well, y'all got a quick glimpse.
Right, you gotta go to Detour Donuts and try it.
Okay.
So you should eat one and
yeah.
share.
Okay.
I mean, I got these guys in the minis. She's awesome. She makes a little mini size too. That way I can share with you guys too. So
okay.
Whatever you want, have your whole piece.
Okay. Well, yeah, since I get one of everything, let's start with your favorite then.
Creme brulee.
Creme brulee, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I always take such big bites of everything. It's embarrassing. I should have practiced that on camera before I did.
They're so good.
You know what? Hold on. What's in the middle?
It's a vanilla custard. Yeah.
It is so mild.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as we love sugar, it's not like crazy sweet.
Right, like you can actually taste how good it is.
It's like it's real cream. It's like real it's not that fake, gross,
weird
stuff.
Cream donut.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I'm telling you, I live
Wow.
probably within a mile of probably 3 donut shops, and I drive 20 some miles one way to go to Detour.
Are they in Denton?
They're in like northwest Frisco.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the top, like I can taste that burnt a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like
And it's better like when you first get it, right? The caramelization on top. Those are cold, and it's super humid today, so it's probably not as crunchy.
It's not as crunchy, but the flavor is solid. Like that's really good. Kudos to you, Jenny. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, definitely donuts. You know, I used to go. Speaking of memories, I used to go with my mom to work on Saturdays because she'd have to go into the office when I was a kid. Again, probably 7, 8, 9 years old. And if she had to go in on Saturdays, I don't know if it was every Saturday. I mean, who knows, like time when you're that young. I don't remember if it was every week. But she would pick up donuts. And so my mom and I would go to the local little donut shop, again in Cleveland. And it was like an old converted diner. And so it had this really like long curved bar sort of thing with all like the old timey bar stools on it.
Yeah.
And so we would go and Mom and I would sit at the little bar stool and we'd get our own donuts. And I'd get to pick out whichever one I wanted. Back then it was probably like vanilla cream, like just the regular white whatever's in those donuts. And then she'd get donuts to take to work for like all the people that would be working. And I would be like playing with highlighters or a typewriter or something, I don't know, occupying my time in the office. But by the end of the day, like if people weren't eating those donuts,
absolutely,
I would very much like I wouldn't even make myself sick. You would think that I would be sick after 5 donuts, but I could eat 5 donuts just like hanging out at the office on the weekend. Nuts. I'll never forget that. So like I don't have an off button for donuts, so I can't get them very often. I have to like keep them at an arm's length. Otherwise, it's just trouble.
I wish I could. I mean, I can relate, but I can't because I don't limit myself to it.
I
believe in that. I just had this conversation with someone the other day about like dieting in general, and I don't. I really should. Like I understand I have no willpower. I've accepted this about myself, and I don't care. Screw it. The rest of y'all can have willpower enough for everybody.
It'd be different if at some point your body told you to stop. But with these, I just keep eating them. They're so good.
I don't know that I've ever eaten so much sugar, sweet things in one sitting that I'm like, I can never do that again. I don't think that's ever happened in my life.
I've definitely never had the instance where I thought I could never do it again.
No.
I maybe shouldn't, but I never thought I couldn't.
Okay, so the apple fritter, I like it. You know what? I tried it with some of the champagne. That actually was a nice combination.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, I'm going in for the
cookies and
cream because This one, oh, it's dark too. The dough is dark.
That one and the cookies and cream, or the cookies and cream and the creme brulee she has all the time. Like that's a regular standard flavor. I might need that one too.
You might need that one.
Such a sugar high, I think. It's so good. I think this is my husband's favorite too. Love Oreos.
Man, I'm not usually like, I have to have milk with my cookies or my brownies or whatever, but like I would have some milk with this too. This is really good.
Stupid. Fluffy.
Shit. Well, that's what you're going to get on this podcast.
Right, I'm like, go ahead and set that bar right there.
If you don't know me, this is how it is. I love Jesus, but I do cuss. So there's that. All right. Anyway, those are good. So these are so donuts in general or detour donuts you can't live without?
Donuts in general, but I'm pretty picky.
Okay.
So I won't get like chain donuts. I just don't even waste my time. It's just heartbreak. Like Dunkin's great for coffee and stuff, but I'm not going to eat it.
No, Dunkin'.
And generally, even if restaurants have them on a menu, you know, sometimes they'll have them as like Italian donuts or Irish donuts or donuts with dipping sauces or any like.
Yeah,
I'm a sucker for that every time. Whatever fried dough you want to toss in sugar and give to me,
I love the way you put that. Fried dough, just tossed in sugar.
It really is.
Who's gonna try that?
Everything fried dough. So like funnel cake, big donut.
Oh, with the crispy.
Churros, more donuts.
Oh, that's my jam. I don't even care. Churro, they can suck, they can be good. Have you ever had a Costco churro?
I don't think so, actually.
Get one of those. They're like a foot long.
They're ginormous, yeah.
For like $1.
Right.
It's the best deal. It's better than their Top Dog deal, for crying out loud. I don't even care. I just will eat that sugar coated. I don't give a damn. I will arrive wherever I'm arrived. I'm just dusting it off and go.
I need to try it. Yeah.
So good, especially if they're like
fresh.
Oh, man, churros are my thing, and I don't ever get out enough to go find the churros.
Right, I know. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
This was a big deal for me to like go pick up donuts and have them here.
It was a big deal. I
thought we needed to.
This
to have
is a total treat. I'm super thrilled about this. Yeah, this is awesome. Thank you. Okay, so then along the same, well, not really along the same lines. Let's talk about candy because I definitely desserts, sweets in general. But candy is where I get in trouble. I mean, like, I get in real trouble with candy.
Okay. So that's where you have, like, no off button. Or I can stop with candy.
For sure. Like, definitely no off button with candy. No, it's a problem for me. So let's do, like, a desert island scenario. You're stuck on a desert island, and all of a sudden you hear this noise, there's a helicopter, whatever, and you go out and you see this thing dropping from the air, hits the sand, and you walk over and it says candy, and like immediately you're not even like, what the hell? You're like, oh shit, I hope that this is what's the candy you want the whole suitcase to be full of?
Only one?
Yeah, one.
Well, I had a thought first before you filled out that whole explanation. Now I feel conflicted. I'm gonna stick with my go-to. My go-to, like, and I think of even, because I'm not a huge candy person, so candy for me is more related to the movies. So, like, if I go to the movies, I'm very likely to get candy at the movies.
Okay.
Probably still something rooted in some memory also. Mine is Twizzlers.
Really?
Road trips, movies.
Wow.
Like,
I would not have guessed.
I love them. And not red vines and not generic anything.
So that was my next question. So like Twizzlers.
And not the cherry kind and not the kind that pull apart, like the original strawberry Twizzlers like you'd get at the movie theater.
Wow.
But I will say, to your point of not having an off button for that, if you get me the family size one, I will eat it in one sitting. Like, I'll just keep eating them.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So if I do get them, I get the smallest package available.
No!
Otherwise, I just won't stop. I'll like
So?
drop my teeth out of my head.
Well, that is the problem. I think that's why, like, we wouldn't fight about that. I'd let you have your Twizzlers. I don't, those are definitely not on my go-to list, but it's because it works my jaw for me personally, it works my jaw, but I don't have, like, good memories of, I don't have memories in general of Twizzlers. They were never a candy that was hanging around my
Something
household.
chocolate peanut butter is probably a really close second. Like chocolate peanut butter M&Ms.
Oh, yeah.
Those I have trouble saying no to also. But
Wait, chocolate peanut butter or peanut? The chocolate peanut butter M&Ms.
yes. Talk about not having to make your jaw work as much. You don't even have to chew that peanut. It's already ready to go on the inside. They're so good. So good. But also never buy those either. Because again, like I can't stop.
Yeah, M&Ms is like, I feel like they are definitely, we'll have to do a whole different candy episode, but they are doing some things with flavors right now. I don't know if it's a Hail Mary on their part or they're just like, they recognize that people need
Buying these strange flavors.
People are really open to trying new stuff.
Right.
The trend is
Right, like all the Oreos.
Yeah, yes. Like how many flipping flavors of Oreo do they have now?
Right.
22?
I will try all of them.
Wow.
No problem. Absolutely. I love Oreos.
I think
It's a good sandwich.
Okay, so we're gonna go off the thing for a minute. Have you looked at Oreos lately? Like looked at the actual Oreos lately?
Yeah.
Have you noticed anything different? The box. So we do the Oreos,
right? Yeah.
The box says real cocoa, and when I pull them out, it's like a light brown bullshit color, and I'm like, that's not the deep, dark, rich Oreo color that they used to be.
Okay.
And I mean, like, there's a very different, and even the picture is dark. The actual Oreo, it's not, and they don't taste as something to me anymore. And I don't know if it's my taste buds that have changed because they definitely have changed.
Get some Oreos.
But yeah, everything else is going a little cost cutting type of situation.
Right.
You know,
so they're just
like
trimming back on that cocoa noir because it's expensive. That dark cocoa. We definitely use it for some stuff at the bakery.
Do you think that they use
rich
that in
and
the
awesome
beginning?
and delicious?
What do you use it for?
Knockoff Oreos. We did like a I think it was a cookies and cream eclair. So we used the cocoa in the pot of choux.
Ooh.
And so it made like a real like dark black pot of choux.
Yeah.
That we did the eclair with. Delicious, and that whole flavor. It has to be the root of the original recipe for them because that you taste and you could smell that cocoa.
Yes,
it smells
you
like Oreos.
can't anymore. You can't.
Okay. Now you've challenged me that I need to
check
go
it out.
get some Oreos.
Yeah. Okay, so my next question is Twizzlers. I'm gonna keep that in the back of my head for future things. When I need to come apologize to you for something, I'm gonna bring Twizzlers or two.
No, just bring me Dallas Caramel Company. Don't worry about Twizzlers.
Okay, I thought I knew the answer to this next question, but now I'm not so sure. I'm really not so sure, but so I'm gonna ask: is chocolate or vanilla?
Vanilla.
Okay, I knew it. I knew you were a vanilla girl.
Yep.
You know how I knew?
How do you know?
Because your Vanilla Macs are so on point that you can't be a fan of vanilla and do the Tahitian vanilla Macs that you do without like vanilla being your thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I will pick vanilla ice cream over chocolate, over swirl, over any of that almost all the time. And it's something I'll look for if I go to a new place or try something out and I really kind of want to see how they're doing.
Yeah.
I'll try, that's like my bar to see whether or not they do a good job on something that's such a simple flavor. You can't really hide it. And especially now, vanilla is so expensive that if you're going to keep it on your menu, you need to keep it on your menu. You know, we see that same thing too, whereas some things in the bakery maybe don't need as much vanilla as others, but if vanilla is in the name, it's got Tahitian vanilla powder in it for sure. Because it's just so aromatic and delicious.
Yes. I never gave vanilla, I definitely never gave it its due, and I never really gave a crap about vanilla until I tried yours. And I'm trying to remember why I tried it. I think I probably tried it because I thought, well, I respected you. I didn't know you super, super well at the time when I first tried your Macs, but I respected you and I knew that you were talented. I'm like, let's just try all her flavors and
we'll see. Right.
Blew my mind. That has changed. Your Tahitian vanilla macaroon, which everybody should try. You should just try it. If you do not live in Dallas, you need to find a way to try it. Find someone that does live in Dallas and have them send it to you. Bisous is going to be shipping in the near future, so pay attention to that too. But that changed everything for me with vanilla. I'm not a vanilla girl. Like,
right.
Man, I knew vanilla was your thing.
It really is. And I think if I felt the way I feel about vanilla, about chocolate, I would have been a chocolatier. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because you can specialize in that one thing, you know, and have like a huge assortment of options. Whereas the vanilla really is like, I've been to a vanilla farm, you know, and been in French Polynesia and checked out like how they dry out the beans and what the process is.
Seriously?
And they're like this really unique flower, and they have to be hand pollinated, and like, yes, it is a process. But you get, you know, you get to this island, and that's what they're known for, and the entire island smells like vanilla. It's nuts.
And it's like, obviously, real vanilla, not that just like vanilla scent that's in some horrible candles
This is
or whatever.
like the beans, and they show you how they select which beans are sold as beans because people want them to be straight and perfect, whereas, you know, this thing's a natural product, so it's curly and goofy looking, and what they do with different like shapes of beans depending on how they look and how big they are and that sort of thing. So
Wow.
yeah, it was amazing. I'm so glad that I went there. And so that's the same vanilla powder that we use now.
That's right. And as prices have increased, it's been a challenge for you, but you have stayed true to that.
Yes, absolutely. It's a challenge for sure. I mean, vanilla prices even everyday people see it at the grocery store. I mean, like even something for the size that you'd use at home is 4 or 5 times the price that it used to be.
It really is.
Yeah.
If I'm paying more than $2 an ounce, cuss words, man.
Yeah.
Dude. Well, the other reason I knew you were a vanilla person is because you're such a classic. Like, you're just classic in everything of who you are.
It's very sweet.
Champagne people that you can't even get here. That's what I'm talking about. Like, that's this girl right here. So I knew vanilla had to be your choice. But
I'll drink to that.
Okay. All right. Are there any flavors that people should not combine into a dessert? Like 2 flavors that should never mix? Like, everyone's getting real adventurous and fancy,
right.
but some things, are there 2 things that will never work?
I hesitate to say yes, because I think I don't want to stifle anyone's creativity, but I'll tell you this, like within the context of our business, so within Bisous, you know, we let people build their own cakes, for example. So you can choose what cake you want and what fillings and what covers and build your own. And so from time to time, if I see this particular combination come through, I will go out and actually like call the customer and just check with them to make sure that they knew what they were doing, because chocolate and lemon don't really go together. So
Wait, where did I just hear about this? My dad's recently been in the hospital, and he's a diabetic, and so he's been trying to manage that, but he loves chocolate shakes and the like. And while he's in the hospital, he was drinking chocolate and like eating chocolate pudding. He had chocolate something on his thing every day. And a nutritionist came in and told him she gave him this packet of lemon gel of some sort.
Okay.
And told him to mix that, because the gel was good for his blood sugar and for other things, his heart and things like that. And she told him to mix that with all of his chocolate stuff, and he was like, "Oh, I don't think so." He did, and he said it was not off-putting at all. I'm not convinced, but I think he's just old.
I mean, and I've been in the hospital and been desperate to eat things, so I probably would have eaten chocolate and lemon together at the time.
He's out of the hospital. He's still doing it.
Weird.
Yeah.
But he likes chocolate that much that maybe it doesn't matter. And sometimes you'll see you'll see orange with chocolate, you know, and even like candied orange peel dipped in chocolate, and you'll see lemon like that too, but it does not appeal to me. And like somebody that orders a chocolate cake with like lemon curd.
So when you call them,
don't get it.
Do they change their mind if you talk to them?
Yeah.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've yet to have anybody that submitted that request that really knew what they were doing.
Oh.
You know, we have some people who are just like, "Oh, I thought it sounded good." You know, you tell me what you want. Most of our customers really are just like, "I don't care, just make it right." You know?
If they, instead of getting the lemon curd, if they were like, "Let me do a layer of chocolate and a layer of lemon," that works differently. That's better. That's more acceptable? No.
I still think it would be a struggle. Yeah. Like if they wanted to do chocolate with orange or chocolate with passion fruit, like if they really wanted the citrus the tartness of that citrus, I think there's other options that would be a better hit than chocolate and lemon.
Chocolate and passion fruit would work?
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Really?
Mm-hmm, yeah, that's our seasonal cake right now. Is chocolate, milk chocolate, and passion fruit. It's so good.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to try that. I am looking forward. Your lemon cruffin is still on for another week-ish.
What? Week.
Oh!
You need to order that sucker because it's going to switch.
I missed it last year too.
We've had it for 3 months.
What?
Stop being so busy. Yeah. 3 months.
All right.
And it switches to strawberry probably later next week. And then it'll be strawberry for 3 months. Strawberry and vanilla.
Yeah, I had the strawberry. It was very good. But I need the lemon.
Yeah, you do.
All right.
Get on
Okay. I'm going to get on it. Okay, so chocolate and lemon are probably not.
Those are the first ones that come off the top of my head.
Okay.
Where I actually see it on a regular basis. Where I'm like, okay, yeah, no, those don't go together.
Okay.
Pick one. So, other than that, I really can't think of anything that I really wouldn't try. You know?
Okay. All right. What about salty or sweet? Which do you?
I'm gonna
answer to that. I think we
definitely
covered that
sweet.
earlier.
I mean, I meet so many people that are like, oh, I'm a salty person, or I only want chips and queso, or if there were like options out like on a buffet or something, and they would like if there's like you're at a party and there's like Chex Mix or there's cookies or there's Oreos or whatever, and like the people that always pick the Chex Mix, I'm sort of just like,
Well, obviously, I want friends.
well, balance is good. I need people to eat all that Chex Mix and I'll eat all the Oreos. But I've never understood that to the extent they probably don't understand how much I can tolerate sweets either. But yeah, definitely sweets.
Okay.
And I can do the sweets with the savory, or the sweets and the salty together too. So I do like salted caramel and popcorn flavored sweets and that kind of stuff. So I don't mind that combination. But
popcorn flavored sweets like Jelly Belly, or we're talking
like
donut?
Like this, like popcorn donut, and like we're going to be doing like a popcorn croissant, caramel popcorn croissant coming up soon too. That'll have like caramel filling and.
Define coming up soon.
What is today?
It's
second quarter, so we're gonna say maybe Easter-ish, maybe after Easter.
Okay. Oh wait,
Easter's coming.
We're not near the end of the month. Why are you cutting off lemon croissants so early? Or cruffins?
Lemon cruffin. There's only about probably maybe a week's worth more.
That was poor planning.
Not for the people that want it to be strawberry, who've had lemon for the last 3 months and now want it to.
That's fair. That's fair. I really dropped the ball on that one. Okay. All right. In the world of in the sweet space, so donuts, yes.
Well, you're supposed to be helping me finish this bottle.
Yeah. Who is doing something really extraordinary? Something really different or extraordinary, and it can be someone you follow that you don't know, or someone here in Dallas that you do know. Who's really breaking the mold?
You know, it's an interesting time for that question, because I think if you had asked me that a year ago, I probably would have had a list of at least 5 pastry chefs that are really doing something interesting, even just outside of the U.S. I don't see a lot of that right now. I definitely don't see a lot of it in Dallas. But even in, where I would probably follow places in New York or San Francisco or LA and other options too, I don't feel like I'm seeing that much. From a product perspective, I don't see that many different varieties.
It's hard right now.
Because
it's really hard.
I think people really want the thing that takes them back to the memory.
Yeah.
So they want a really good sugar cookie, and they want a really good chocolate pudding, And so a lot of the real basics, it's not a mistake that my favorite desserts are donuts. Like they are like the ultimate comfort food for a sweets person. And so I don't see a ton of innovation right now from a product perspective. What I do see innovation in is how pastry chefs and really like bakers, like how they're connecting with those customers. And so how they're reaching out to people. So you see things as high up from a business perspective as something like Christina Tosi, who's doing like a 30-day masterclass or whatever of baking with her through a particular recipe set, which is great. And it's a coordinated effort, and she has a team that can help her do all of that. And that's great. But then you even have, smaller places like Yelly Belly, who's local here in Dallas, who's doing virtual classes and, pick up your box of things, or we'll ship you your box of things and we're going to do it and we'll do it together, or record it and you can do it at your own time. Like, I think the people that have that sort of in their wheelhouse, I'm fascinated by that right now.
Agreed.
Because I think there's a lot of people that are stuck at home that want to do something different, that maybe would try something they've never done before. And now's the time to do that. And those places are giving those people that outlet, that ability to do it. And I think that's really cool.
That's a great answer.
I'm fascinated by that innovation, that level of creativity.
Yeah.
With, doing so much with what we already have and doing something totally new.
Yeah, I agree. I am amazed is probably not the right word, but I'll go with that people will do some of these classes.
Absolutely.
It's just, it blows my mind. I mean, it really blows my mind.
I know the extent of what it takes to, say, like, make French macaroons. And so when we have places that want, like, oh, we're going to do this feature on your business and can you give us a recipe? And I'm like, well, I can. Like, how much print space are you going to give us? Because the recipe is so big and so elaborate and there's all these tips and this could go wrong and don't do it on a humid day and, like, all these things. And I look at it and I'm like, there is no way. But then you have, like...
But you did. You just did it on Dallas News.
And, like, 12-year-olds will figure out how to make macarons. You know?
Yeah.
Some of that, too, I think those kids, there's a level of fearlessness in children that
Definitely.
I think is just awesome. Like, let them try it.
100%.
Like, adults maybe would be like, man, this almond flour is like $10 a pound. I don't want to waste it if it doesn't turn out or whatever. Whereas the kids are just like, F it, I'm in.
Yeah.
Let's make them.
Yes, they are. They're looking for the experience.
Right.
Left and right, constantly looking for that experience.
And they've grown up watching MasterChef Junior and like TV shows that show that kids can do this stuff.
Yeah. That's true.
So, I mean, I think all of that's fascinating. I don't watch any of those shows, but I think it's really cool for the kiddos.
Yeah. Okay, that's a really good answer because you're right. It is a tough time to be innovative in product. Right now. Really
Yeah,
tough.
I mean, just generally, foot traffic, for those of us that have like a retail space, foot traffic remains down. We're doing okay with orders and people that still want different items that, cakes, and people are still having celebrations and that kind of stuff. But just the average person that's walking in and grabbing a coffee and a croissant, our foot traffic's down 30%. And was on a whole for 2020. And so, like, making those innovative new pastries, they're fun, but there's only so many hands you can get them into if you just don't have people that are out and about.
Right.
And so on the one hand, that's a challenge. On the other hand, I'm happy they're staying home or not going out and about until, we get to a better place, as a whole. But it does make it tricky to try new things. And so we still try to do it. Something we used to do, we used to change our menu like every month. And change cruffins and change croissants and change. Because, in the kitchen, we're so interested in innovation and something new and how cool is that, and we want to eat it and all of these things. But you can't really keep up with it, and the customers can't. So if they are getting out, let's say once a month to go something that's like a splurge, they need more time to try that thing. Like the lemon cruffin, obviously, right? So we changed it to like 3 months at a time, let's say. So, people have more time to get the thing, but that also sort of stifles our creativity a little bit, where we'll come up with things, and we're like, okay, we'll hold that off until like the next seasonal change or whatever. And that's fine, but it is a little trickier for trying to be creative. So.
Okay. All right. I like it. Are you... when do you think your classes are going to come back?
Summer, maybe into the fall.
Okay.
I'd like to say July because I think my heart is there. I want it. We have so much fun in the classes, but I think it's more likely that it'll be September.
Okay. All right. We all stay tuned. You should definitely attend a class.
I love teaching them. They're so much fun.
Definitely attend a class. Okay. So we've talked about we're drinking.
Yep.
We've talked about desserts. The other part of this podcast is Dallas. So let's talk a little bit about Dallas. You grew up in Cleveland, but you've been here for a long time, many years.
We're not going to talk about
Nope,
right?
we won't. I have been here for many years, most all of my life. I've been here, moved here when I was 7. Is there something that, like, is there a story about Dallas, or is there like a little known fact, or what is it about Dallas that makes it so intriguing that people still want to come here? What do you love about Dallas? Anything?
Can I not have an answer?
Yes, that's fair, I guess.
Yeah, that's the one. It's tricky for me, you know. Do I know if I would still be here if I wasn't here, if I didn't feel like my business belonged here, if I didn't enjoy the customers that come to our business? I don't know. I think the most that I've seen over the years, and it's not any particular story or any particular place in Dallas, it's just that we tend to be very hospitable.
Yeah.
Sort of open door, welcoming. And I think that's what keeps me here. Because it's very much who we are as a business. It's not a mistake that like we welcome, everybody into our shop, and we're in a climate that I feel like this city is welcoming, more so than maybe other cities within the country or even outside of the U.S. But we, I think we're really hospitable, and give people that benefit of the doubt when we first meet them. And I've heard that, kind of about the South in general, and I hear it about Dallas. I want to believe that about Dallas, but sometimes what we want to believe and what other people really see or think are two different things. And I recently talked to someone, and that's exactly what they said. They said, everyone is so nice and so kind and so open to come sit with us kind of thing. Right.
That they don't experience that in other places. And it warmed my heart. I thought that is awesome that we are still that, because Dallas is a lot more diverse than it used to be, right? And to be able to keep that when everything else, so many other things have changed, make me happy and proud to be in Dallas.
Yeah, and I think I've had plenty of friends that have come from abroad and are just like, everybody is so nice here, and if you have traveled abroad where maybe you don't have these sort of like connections and interactions with shopkeepers or your grocery store clerk or whatever, we sort of take it for granted. But they really notice it, like, wow, okay, like everybody says hello and how are you, and they stop and listen to your answer, and we definitely, living in Dallas, see the the inconsistencies with that sort of generalization. But I think by and large it's still very true. I think there's still a lot of just open-hearted generosity.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, this has been awesome. Thank you for having us.
Oh my gosh.
My last question for you is, who should I have on next?
It's a tough one because the list is so long.
Yes.
I'm going to say that you should have Yelly Belly on next because I really want to know more about her classes.
Okay. All right. You're in luck. She has said yes.
Nice.
So
okay,
I will make sure to ask Sarah Beth about some of her classes. We'll dive into that a little bit.
And I could give you 10, 20, 30, lots of other people too. I want to know all the things.
All right.
But I really...
will you come back? Will you be a guest again?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
We have many more sweets to discuss.
I have lots more champagne.
Champagne.
Cheers.
Cheers, you guys. All right. Thank you so much.
Sure. Anytime.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us. This, again, was our first episode. I can't wait for you to see us next week on the next episode. Rachel is my co-host, and she'll be interviewing me on all these same questions. So we'll see you guys next week.